この2では、まずマレーシアでの取り組みをソリダリダードのラオさんにご説明いただき、その後、インドネシアでの取り組みをソリダリダードのイェニさんにご紹介いただきたいと思います。では、マレーシアからラオさん、お願いします。
Thank you. Allow me to share my screen. Okay. Can it be seen clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I would like to share. I'm Law from Malaysia. Currently, we are having a team of approximately 25 teams in a 25% a team in working in Malaysia, which focus on oil palm activity in Perak, Johor, and Sarawak. So I would like to share a little bit our experience of which we're working with the oil palm smallholders. So since 2019, we started our activities, and these are the data we collected. And if you can see here, it indicates that the oil palm smallholder has a very high potential to increase their yield. As Fuji-san mentioned just now, the oil palm demand is going to be increased due to the world population increase. But we see an opportunity here to support the smallholder in such a way that we can increase their yield without the need of increasing the land size. Meaning to say they can use their existing land and double their yield. Now take example for the yield in Sarawak. You see the average of 11.53 ton per hectare. And that is very much low compared to a plantation, which usually they can hit 25 ton to 30 tons. And there's numbers of plantation that actually can hit 30 tons constantly. Having said that, it also means that the oil palm smallholders is actually doing not as good compared to a well-managed oil palm plantation. So we also collected the good agricultural practice adoption rate from these smallholders. As you can see, there's still a lot of improvement that can be made. Some of the good agricultural practices, for example, number 2 and number 3, they have a road construction, they have a terrace view, and then it have very high adoption rate. But there are some things that we found in smallholder need more guidance and help, particularly, for example, number 8, 9, and 10. To replenish the organic matter back to the soil. So residue management such as frond and mulches, and then stacking frond. Number 10, you will see a lot of them is doing that. The use of organic fertilizer, number 11. Sorry, let me put the pointer. Yeah. So if you see here, number 11, the use of organic fertilizer is still ranging from 30% to 70%. So it's still a lot more to improve and guide them. So since then, Solidaridad has been focusing on training the farmers. These are a few activities that we focus. Number 1, the farmers training, which we conducted regular farmers training to share with the farmers the knowledge and skill on field management and how to manage their farm in sustainable manners. Other than that, we also set up the farm demonstration plot, which we selected farmers who do well in sustainability and use it as a model farm to demonstrate the improve in agricultural production and also adoption of good agricultural practices. Now, the reason is the farmers will be very much interested if we can demonstrate to them the good agricultural practices can actually increase their productivity and in return increase their income. So at this moment, it is very slow, but we are picking up the early adopter so that we can actually demonstrate to the farmers doing sustainability and increasing their livelihood and income can go along together. It doesn't mean that when they become sustainable, the yield will drop. So we selected a few farm spots to demonstrate to the farmers that it can be done when they are doing sustainable, there is an opportunity for them to get more income. Now, other than that, Solidaridad in Malaysia also focus on monitoring and evaluation, where our team will constantly visit the farmers, hear from the opinions, and then adjust our strategy so that we can guide them towards more sustainable and regenerative farms. Now, the key intervention points that we share with the farmers include the following points. Number one, field management, which include the plant physiology. Just as Fuji-san mentioned just now, for example, we teach the farmer how to observe the leaf to identify the nutrient deficiency of the oil palm. Plantation management, which include immature and mature oil palm. Before 4 years old, the oil palm needs a specific way to handle. And when the oil palm is matured, it will require another methods to handle. A correct methods to replanting, pest and disease control, including the integrated pest management, or even using biological control. MSPO and MSPO2 sharing with the farmers so that they are aware of the legality, the legal requirement of Malaysia government toward the Malaysia Sustainable Palm Oil Standards, and important of using quality seedling. And we also connected them to a licensed seed producer so that these farmers do not waste their time and fertilizer planting a seedling that is not going to be productive. And this is so important because oil palm do not produce the first fruit until approximately 4 years. So imagine they have to put the fertilizer along for 4 years. Only during the 5th years they realize the seedling is not very productive gene, so it will incur a loss to them. So other than that, we also train the farmers in terms of pruning and harvesting. The pruning is a removal of the oil palm frond, excessive frond during the harvesting, so that the oil palm have the correct amount of frond based on their age, so that no wastage to the fertilizer. The oil palm do not keep too much of the frond that it require a lot more nutrient to maintain, and then there is a wastage to the fertilizer. So we want the oil palm to be efficient with correct amount of leaf. It can actually store most of the nutrient it collected from the soil to produce the fruit. And other than that, we also teach the farmers about the fruit grading so that they are aware which are the good quality fruits and what are the protocol they need to follow. For example, they need to send the fruit to the mill within 24 hours to avoid the development of the fatty acid, which will going to reduce the oil extraction rate. Other than that, we also train the farmers in terms of soil fertility management. Now, as Fuji-san mentioned just now, we are actually consuming the soil. So the soil carbon is actually going to be subside over the years. So we need the farmers to actually replenish the organic carbon back to the soil through frond stacking, cover cropping, and the use of organic compost fertilizer that they can collect the food waste from their kitchen and compose it to organic fertilizer and reapply it back to the soil. Now, this organic matter that go back to the soil actually help to hold the nutrient and fertilizer that we apply back to the ground so that it doesn't being washed away by the rainfall and then go into the water body and cause pollution. Other than that, Solidaridad in Malaysia also try to train the farmers to manage their farm based on soil analysis scientifically. So we want to know the exact situation and the condition of the soil in such a way the farmers will put the nutrient based on the needs and the deficiency rather than over applying the fertilizer as mentioned just now. So then it goes to the nutrient management. We train the farmer based on 4 right principle. So we want the farmer to put the fertilizer in the right time, not during the rain season where the fertilizer might have risk being washed away. The right amount where the oil palm or the soil deficit, then you apply the correct amount. Right frequency, not too much, not too less, and right method. Right method means where do you put the fertilizer? Is it nearby the trunk, or is it near the active root zone of the oil palm? These are the training that has been given in such a way that the farmers do not waste their fertilizer which they buy with their cash. So again, like just now, Fuji-san mentioned, the fertilizer use efficiency, particularly the nitrogen, is very low, 33%. Mainly is because it is a soluble nutrient where after you apply and then you have a raining, the fertilizer actually would dissolve and then being brought to other places. Now, too much of fertilizers is actually going to cause problem. For example, just now mentioned acidification. Other than that, we also have soil cracking or hard pan form, which will further decrease the soil water penetration, making the soil more dry on the bottom layer. Other than that, when the soluble nutrients such as nitrogen being washed away into the water body, you can cause eutrophication, where the algae bloom form on top of the lake, will going to kill most of the biodiversity within the lake. And also, one particular problem that we have in Malaysia particularly is the volatilization. Fertilizer like urea, the nitrogen, is going to transform from solid to gas directly without going through the liquid phase, because Malaysia weather is hot and humid. So this is actually encouraging the direct release of nitrogen fertilizer into gas form, which in return will cause more global warming, because it have a very high global warming potential compared to carbon dioxide. So this is why nutrient management is being the biggest topic that we always share in the ground, how to put the fertilizer in the correct manner, how to use it at the right time, so that one, the farmers can save costs in their fertilizers. Number two, the excessive fertilizer do not harm the environment. Other than that, we also encourage farmers to do water management, such as rainwater harvesting, set up a proper drainage system, and also, of course, protection of the buffer zone. These include how to properly manage the fertilizer and pesticide input, so that all the input to the ground is being used up by the plant rather than being washed away into the water body. Other than that, we also teach the farmers for a proper data recording, documentation, and record keeping. And also we connect the farmers to some finance access, such as MPOB, Malaysia Palm Oil Board, and Agrobank, which some of them provide financial scheme or loan to farmers who want to invest in agribusiness management and crop livestock integration. But this is a loan. Of course, we emphasize on the safety and health in the farm working environment, so that the farmer know how to correctly use personal protection equipment and the correct first aid protocol. Now, we also involve with the Department of the Endangered Species Biodiversity in Malaysia, so that they actually brief these farmers what are the endangered species they cannot harm if they see it in their oil palm plantation. So up till now, we have 500 smallholders, or equivalent to approximately 2,000 hectares of land, is Region Agri certified under regenerative agriculture. And Region Agri certification for year 2023 is still ongoing. Through this Region Agri certification, we observe that the farmer have improved awareness, knowledge, and skill on implementing good agricultural practices. They are more climate smart, and they are adopting the regenerative agricultural practices. So way forward, Solidarida is going to continue monitoring and evaluation. And through this monitoring and evaluation, we both learn, both Solidarida and smallholders, so that we can further improve and enhance the robustness of the program and its impact. So this is the photo of certificate that we obtained for the 500 farmers in Sarawak. The challenges that we face is currently the lack of awareness of this importance of the region agri practice and sustainable good agriculture practice. Because again, farmers will be more interested to know how much they can earn. It will be very difficult for us to convince the farmer to join sustainability if we cannot demonstrate to them that it is going to be profitable to them. So actually, we are moving forward with this in a good pace. We have a very early adopter, and then now we are start to see some positive result. And through that, we can encourage farmers to transition from conventional to region agri practice or new technology. It will be only happen when they can see the success from other oil palm smallholders or plantation. Other than that, like Fuji-san mentioned just now, farmers are more susceptible, to the market price or to the input price because they have very low financial capacity compared to plantation. Particularly, some of the good agricultural practice require upfront investment in agricultural inputs, such as good quality of seeds, cover crop on soil amendments. And one particular problem that we face in Malaysia is also the shortage of labor. Now, average of the smallholders that we intervene have average age about 65 years old. A lot of practices require a lot more labor-intensive intervention, and then such as diversification, building of terrace, and so on. We are still looking for support from corporate or plantation or even cooperative to actually help this farmer to address the shortage of labor. So before I end my slide, I actually want to show you some of our activity. These are some field training that we conducted. We actually have the training on the field. Picture on the right, you can see that application of the fertilizers on the front heap. The rightmost upper right is teaching the farmer to identify where is the active root zone by observing the front of the oil palm, and then to determine where to put the fertilizers. The bottom right indicate a demonstration of using the personal protection gear in a proper way. This is some of the photo of a region agri audit. We interview the farmer individually. We visit their field, and then on the picture on the right, you can see we are checking what are the chemical and fertilizer that has been applied in the farm to check if it is comply with the legality. This is some of the farm plot that we selected as demonstration plot. On the upper left, you can see there is a rainwater harvesting. They have multiple points so that they harvest this to use the rainwater to mix pesticides such as herbicide or fungicide. And then the center picture, you see a proper managed front heap. This farm is very clean, so it's easy to walk in. And then the two bottom left photo indicate chicken and duck integration. Upper right is the goat, and then you can see fish pond and banana is also integrated in the farm. So before I end my slide, it is very important to note that support from corporate is very important because to smallholder is very important because smallholder is usually the very vulnerable group, but we observe a very high potential for the farmers to increase their yield with the existing land, giving them double the yield with the existing land. So we can actually cope with the oil palm demand of the world oil and fat demand without the need of further exploring into forests. And we are looking at the possibility of 30 to 50% increase if it is possible. With that, I will end my presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the time for Denka, other panelists, and all the participants. I'm trying to explain what exactly the Solidaridad Indonesia doing until now to support oil palm smallholder farmers. Okay, Solidaridad Network Indonesia is established in 2015, and we are under local foundation in Indonesia. So we are part of the Solidarity Network Asia. In this region, we are working mainly in Kalimantan, in which our commodity are focusing in the palm oil. And then the other part of the Indonesian program, we also have tea in Central Java and West Java. We have one project of palm oil in Lampung, and then we have in Jambi earlier for the certified RSPO farmers, and again we are right now entering the Central Kalimantan for the same commodity is palm oil. So what is exactly Solidaridad Indonesia doing, and then what kind of our expertise and thematic of the project? So apart from the commodities, so we assisting the producer, in this case is the smallholder farmer. Of course, we consider the smallholder farmer is not only the farmer who are work in their land, but also the ex-plasma. It means that smallholder that already out from the corporate plantation. So we also took them as the groups that we assist and facilitate under our palm oil program. So what are the intervention that Solidarity Indonesia doing is also to improve their livelihood. We do very early assessment that we call the baseline assessment, that it is not only to see the potential land or commodity that can grow in the village, but also to assist their livelihoods. Through the program, Solidaridad Network Indonesia is not only doing the capacity building for the oil palm farmers, but also we do financial literacy, financial capability, in which we understand that the cycle of the palm oil in the families, it should be integrated. It means that whatever the income the household getting from the palm oil, it should be cover all the needs as a smallholder, as a family. So we do financial literacy and financial capability, in which any income they are getting from the palm oil, it can be allocated properly. So usually the wives will join the financial literacy training, so they know how to manage their needs for the cost of their life, like for school fees, insurance, and access to public transportation, or so on. So apart from that, that is the series of how we do the intervention to the smallholder farmers and their family, as well as their community. What is the next step of Solidaridad doing is we also give some strengthening for farmers to enable the formation in the group, to enable them to become an independent group. It means that they can learn each other, they can make some small organization in the groups, and that is how few of them are now established as a farmers cooperative. So it is the process how we bring the smallholder oil palm farmer to be more in high capacity. Is not only in terms of the farming techniques, but also in how they role as the farmers group. So we engage in them in the program of engagement through the market, through private sector, as well as to improve their capacity through the certification process, or in Indonesia we call it the Indonesian Sustainable Palm Oil. That is a national standard. It is the mandatory that from our government for all oil palm farmers. So what are the Solidaridad Indonesia also facilitated our smallholder farmers? We also providing a digital tool in which we put all the farmers' data in our digital apps. We call it Betang Sawit. This Betang Sawit it contains of all information of our smallholder farmers data, their land, their production number, and also the location. So currently we are nearly going to 30,000 farmers, trained farmers, in which it is cover more than it is more than 30,000 hectares. And apart from that, we have RSPO certified farmer for more than 800, and then ISPO farmer is 164, and then again that we already reached the Region Agri certified farmer for 2,000 farmers. So this is something that we have done for Indonesia. So as you can see in the screen, that a lot of works that we put in our smallholder program, especially in palm oil. So apart from the palm oil itself, we also encourage smallholder farmer to do other crops if they have an idle lands through the knowledge of the regenerative agriculture scheme that we are trying to also give some awareness for the farmers to ensure while doing the farming, they are also not harm the environment. So it is something that we are try to put our smallholder farmers can meet. It's not only the increase in their productivity, but meet the standard in the market. Right now, we have a lot of criteria, a lot of criteria, and market mainly are in Asia, but we have a global market as well, like a European market. So through this, moving to the global market, we also understand that our smallholder farmers should be part of the global supply chain. So what Solidarity Indonesia doing is we are trying to ensure they are doing sustainable practices. For some of them who are eager to get certified, we also assisted them in terms of their operational administration to get Indonesian Sustainable Palm Oil Certificate, or to get the RSPO certificate, or also to get the regenerative agriculture certificate. So this is something that we are trying to put them into the global market standard requirement. So Solidarity Indonesia right now, knowing that there are new policy for the European market about EUDR, so we are trying to do some mapping. Mapping that we are doing is through the traceability system, to how through our GIS, data, we also provide smallholder farmers and like a map, also to link them with the near mills, so we know exactly where our smallholder farmers sell their FFBs. So it is something that we have done with our smallholder farmers. Of course, knowing that a global market, a new policy and regulation will attach to them, we try our best to ensure our farmers can follow all the regulation and also can adapt it all the practices that we have assisted to them. Okay, so from right now we are working with the 2 provinces mainly. So we are mainly in West Kalimantan. So if you know that we have an MOU with the 7 head of districts in West Kalimantan, we do also collaboration with East Kalimantan with the MOU with the governor, and the 4 MOU with the head of the region in East Kalimantan. So if you see in this picture, we are not only to monitor their activities, but we also give a training on how they do their own land mapping. So we have the GIS training, and we also provide them training how to make a compost. Right now, we have one house, compost house in West Kalimantan, in which this Koperasi Rajaswa is the name of the farmers cooperative. Now they can establish a huge, it is not huge, but it is sufficient for them to produce the organic fertilizer that they are getting from the empty bunch, also from the plantation itself. So they are working together in the group to make the shelter and then sell the products to their group, also to another group. So this is how they pack all the organic fertilizer that can supply at least for their community. But right now they are also starting to sell this organic fertilizer to other locations. So apart from this, actually Solidaridad could not work alone. To build numbers of smallholder farmer with the high capacity skill, we also work together with other donors like UNDP through the Kalimantan Forest Program, and then with other private sector like Henkel, like BASF, Isti Lauder. So it is how we keep, moving and bringing our smallholder farmers for and scale up them to meet the needs of the global market. So if you see in the screen that this is again through the regenerative agriculture, this is the what we call integrated farming that we do in the West Kalimantan in Merarai village, where on the right side they plant the oil palm, and then on the other side they also have other crops. They grow vegetables, they grow other fruits, and they keep also cow, and they have the compost shelter for their plantation. So it is something that we are trying to ensure the farmers' need, the oil palm smallholder needs also can be fulfilled with their own activities in surroundings area to ensure and improve the soil health, and also to fulfill their daily needs on for their families. So next is actually we are until now, even though it's not easy to look after all the 20,000 smallholder farmers, we are trying to bring them and accommodate their knowledge is not only for a men but also for women. So we have a gender project in which we give some awareness and then knowledge and how they need to while they are doing in the plantation, they have to be very safe, because it is different like a man. Women have a lot of restriction. They have some because of the chemical things that they will their body will absorb from the plantation. So we do some gender program in which we give them some knowledge on how to use some safety clothes and gloves. So by the time they come back from the plantation and do the housework, they the women also can arrive home safely and can do other things in their families. So it is something that we are do both. It's not only for the smallholder farmer as a production of the palm oil, but also for their family. So I do hope that our experience on the ground in Indonesia can also inspiring you to see how actually our smallholder farmer, especially for us, Indonesia and Malaysia as a producing countries, it matters, and then it is the smallholder farmers as the lower level as the contributor for this in big industry, it's need to be taken care of, need to have continue improve their skill and ensuring that it's not only the commodity sustainable but also the family and livelihood also sustainable in the future. Thank you very much.